Bloop, bloop.
Hi, Craig.
Hi, Craig.
Always terrifying as always.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a nice voice to say hello to, for sure.
Now
Does
in
it
your
start
house.
immediately before that or immediately after that?
After, you never hear him.
So we just, every week we cry about the recording and they never get to hear it.
Yeah, it's okay.
We'll have to put an example in some.
Listeners will know that it's terrifying.
You say they and listeners, but I haven't even edited it or
Well,
posted
Kyle
anything.
Riddle is the listener.
Yeah, I
Obviously going to
listened
be
to it.
ridiculously famous. I don't know how
And you'll
you
be
don't
like,
know
I
that.
wonder what that sounds like. I forgot. And you won't know.
You're right. I won't know because it doesn't haunt my dreams.
It sounds like now recording.
Yes, thank you.
That's pretty good.
That's a pretty good impression.
I'm editing that out.
It sounds like I am a butt.
It sounds like I am Tim the Butt Riddle.
I am. Check my mail.
I wish my moniker were the butt.
I don't know, Cameron.
You've already got 4 names.
I don't know if you know this, but Tim shares an Amazon account with us, so we mess with each other's names. Okay.
Yeah, and you guys are like garbage people or something.
Scumbag.
Scumbag, that's what it is. Yeah.
Are you still talking about the Amazon thing? Or?
No, I'm just making side comments now. Yeah.
Wow, it was a random spot to just drop in a diss there.
Anyway, so I was thinking that I'd rather do anything else with my Tuesday night, guys. Just wanted to put it out there.
All right, I'll kill you off. Don't worry, real soon.
Oh, man.
You probably remember, but in case you forgot, as the Green Cap crew continued on their path toward Avalon, they met a traveling troupe turned adventurers who called themselves the Sound Guardians. The group asked to share a fire with the crew and in turn treated the camp to a few songs for entertainment. Indra was able to learn a specific technique of using her tarot cards, while Vargo was able to pull out some information from Katagar despite all of his chatter. After a brief time with the group, the next morning they left with a smile and a wave, hoping to see their fellow adventurers again as the Green Cap crew packed up their stuff and continued east toward Avalon.
There's something else you forgot in the recap.
Hit me.
Thalen had a conversation with the horse.
That is true.
It is in my notes.
Did you? That's right. You did. Fuck. Forgot about that.
So I'm just going to add horse to my languages if that's...
Yeah, do it. That's definitely, you definitely had one conversation with a horse, so
Yeah.
you can add. That's your +1 though. Remember you were asking me what you wanted to have your other one? Your second language is not horse. That's you burned your spell slot on horses.
I think it's a pretty good thing to speak.
Yeah, I would take that, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So the Sound Cloudians are gone.
The Sound Guardians.
Oh, sorry.
Sound clouds. Yeah, they headed out and you all were left packing up, getting on your way east towards Avalon.
I continue to look for the God Pen.
How do you continue to look for the God Pen?
Look around, look for small barns and farms, look for paths to take. I pray. I'm alert.
Can I have Tidrin fly up real high and kind of just do a perimeter up high?
Yeah, how close does he have to be to the ground to be able to see things? Because it is not necessarily a clear day. It is a little bit overcasty. So do you know how it works?
I mean, I can control him up to 100 feet, but I can share senses with him up to a mile. He can just kind of fly around. I mean,
you're just having him at whatever height it is that he can see the ground?
But pretty much, yeah. Okay. So that he can kind of search around and just do kind of a wide perimeter. Because we're walking and he doesn't really need to be sitting around, so he can fly and just check things out, kind of imitate being just a regular bird.
Okay. I'll have both you and Indra go ahead and roll perception.
13. 13.
Na 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 19.
Indra, I guess while you're walking, so this is now your third day on the road. And as you're walking, it's getting a little bit more traveled. So again, I had mentioned last time yesterday that you had been seeing some runners that go by. You see a little bit more foot traffic this time, and you also actually see what I picture as when you're on a highway and you see a path off to the side where it's just like it's basically it looks like it's overgrown, but you can see the tread marks of tires from people that roll up to their house on the side. So there's these paths that kind of branch off, and there are a couple of them going both directions, right, north and south ish, I guess. So left and right from their path. None of them are as well worn, I guess, as the one that you're on, and they trail off. They don't necessarily go. You don't see like where they end, I guess, but because this is a more used path, you see that there are people that use this path to get places, and they also use it to kind of take off the main road into certain different areas. You don't see from the path, you don't see a place that it goes, but you do see these smaller paths.
I want to walk down them and see where they go.
Okay. Would you have like walked down the first one, or would you walk down the first one that's going a certain direction, or I guess how would it have played out?
'Cause I guess no matter which way we go, we're still east of Sundabar. Yeah, I probably would have done the first one
The first one?
and every single one until I find this barn.
Okay. Well, I'll say just for expediency's sake, like you do take some of the paths, and I guess for the rest of you, how would it look if she took you down a path and you were walking a path for like a half hour and still haven't seen anything new? Would you all just let it happen, or?
What do you mean, like anything new? Like I've seen this before?
No, I mean like there's no
It's just the
like
middle of nowhere kind of thing?
yeah, like you're really just going down this like not very worn path where not many people go, and it doesn't seem like it's really taking you anywhere after like 20 minutes or something like that.
I guess I'd be like, this isn't. Are we going to a big city? Why is this? There's so much grass on this road.
I want the god pen.
Is it this way?
Maybe.
And I guess what I'll say now for Tidrin is that what did you say he rolled?
13. And he would have just been following these paths ahead of us because he can go twice as fast as we can flying. So he could
Okay.
get a little further ahead and search things out. Just kind of give us an idea if there's anything ahead.
Okay, I'll wait on that one then.
All right. If this, do you think this is the way to go?
I just know it's east of Sundabar. I don't know exactly where.
How we took the fork last week, right, Kyle?
You took the fork
What
towards the
we
north
think-
side.
Right. Okay. How far are we up it at this point? How many days have we traveled? 2.
This is your third day, so
So
again,
we're like
it
halfway
was,
down that second.
yeah, probably around that.
All right. Well, I'm down to look for it for a little bit. Guess nothing's too time pressing.
Hey, Indra.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when my dad would go try and sell wheat at the market, he would get a little bit lost, and then my mom and him, they would have an argument about whether or not they should ask for directions. And I think maybe this is a time where we could take that experience to heart, and maybe we can ask for directions about, a god pen or any goings on. Hey, you know what? You go ahead and walk down the road. I'm gonna stand on the main road and just wave down a runner guy. Maybe he knows. I'll just ask him about like what magic, if he sees magic.
A small farm?
A small farm. Oh yeah, I'll ask him about that.
I meant to ask the troop, but I forgot.
Oh
So,
well, damn.
I'll go with you, Taylor.
All right, half elf boys on the road asking for directions.
Well, I guess we should all go back because how will you tell us what you find out?
he can have his little dragon thing come with us. And then we can like send him back when we're
I
good.
suppose we could do that. Yeah. So
Tim, you know that your dragon is pretty far away from you at the moment. So like,
so he's way ahead.
yeah, he's ahead checking those routes, right?
Okay.
Fine.
Yeah,
So.
he's kind of out and about right now. I could call him back, but it might be a minute. I mean, he's trying
Does
to
he?
keep us from having to go too far down
Can
the
he
road.
like talk to you?
Kinda, yeah. Hang on a sec. And so I just kind of stop walking for a second, and then my eyes go the same teal that Tidrin's normally are, and I'm just gonna watch through his eyes, see where he's at.
And what you see is, do you get his like memories or how exactly? Because like if he's been flying around, if
He can send general feelings, simple ideas, emotions, that kind of stuff. When he's in 100 feet, he can tell me exact thoughts. But when he's this far, it's just like general impressions, and then I can see what he sees and hear what and experience his perceptions.
okay, you hear like as the wind is going through his ears. You get the general feel that he's been down similar paths like this a lot, and he's like gone down maybe 4 or 5 of them now. And he's cruising down this path, and again, it's not very well traveled, not many people. He does on this path what he noticed new. I guess what he would send to you is like, this path didn't have a farm, but it did have pretty big thicket of trees along this path, which has been different than all the other ones, which are pretty barren and not much on them. On this path, there's like a thicket of trees that he saw on the way that way, but other than that, nothing on the current path that he's on.
Guys, it doesn't really seem like there's much up ahead. There's like lots of empty paths, no barns. I mean, a few little homes and stuff, but no barns. I'm just like shouting. This is just super loud.
That's weird. What happened to your
just-
eyes? Sorry.
I don't respond because I can't hear you.
Okay.
We could just all go back.
And then I come back. Okay, sorry guys. Wow, that was very loud. So what was the plan?
I think we're gonna go back if there's nothing that far up ahead.
Yeah, I mean we could take the next. We could keep an eyes out, but yeah, I'll try to have Tidrin keep a patrol going so we can keep our eyes peeled. But otherwise, we're gonna go through on a lot of false ends. I think it just seems like a very open land. Let's
Yeah.
keep walking around, but mostly just,
All right. Well, yeah. Let's find someone to ask and see.
Right. I suppose we could move to the next intersection, and as we're moving, we just keep an eye out for people.
Yeah.
So you all head back to the main road, and Alistair, remind me, I guess, how it works is like, is there a way that Tidrin can ping you, send you a message, or does he have to be close enough to you to do that?
He can't really. It's like I have to reach out and check in with him, or he has to come all the way back.
Okay, you guys go back to the main path, and I'm assuming continue walking eastward, like towards Avalon, and just wait, like keep an eye out for runners.
Yeah, I think so.
After it takes about 20 minutes to get back to the main road. You get back to the main road, and after about 10 minutes of walking, you see a young man, kind of on the boy side, I'd say probably like 14 or so, in very little clothing because he's running, like a big backpack with a bunch of stuff in it, and he's running the opposite direction you all are.
You're up, Thalen.
Excuse me, running man.
Oh, and he's like out of breath a little bit, but like kind of is used to it. So, yeah, what can I do for you?
I jog up alongside him.
Yeah,
and
come
say,
on, I'm going this way.
Yeah, me too. Hey, so we've been walking this trail for a while now, and we're looking for small farms, maybe that have some sort of renown in terms of some sort of reputation for some interesting goings on. Do you know anything about that? Small farms around?
I mean, yeah, lots of farms around. I guess there's I've probably gone past a bunch of them, but they're pretty far off the main road here that we're on. But there are a couple.
Would you say any of them have any particular religious affiliation?
They're a mile away.
I guess not that I know of. There's a good pickle farm.
Cucumber.
Cucumber farm that makes really good pickles.
Epic pickle farm.
But for the most part, I think they're all just farms. And he kind of picks up the pace a little bit.
All right, guy. Well, I'm gonna let you keep running. Not that I'm out of breath already. Pickle farm sounds like a good tip. Bye.
He didn't tell you where it is.
I jog back. All right. Good news, bad news, guys. Which one do you want first?
Bad news first. Bad news always
Bad news first. Okay. So bad news is that guy didn't know about a god pen, I don't think. But the good news is that pickle farms are a thing. And we can totally go to one soon.
Do you know where it is, Thalen?
Oh. Yeah, there's a couple around here. A little bit away.
Oh man.
According to my instructions.
Okay.
I'm going to be honest. It was hard to think and run at the same time. You know what? I got a better idea.
Okay.
What if we pretend to be pen salespeople? And we set up shop on the road here and just see who comes along and offers a little tip about pens. You know? A little enterprising young fellow wants to take us to a pen.
How many pen salesmen have you met?
Me, personally?
Yeah.
None.
No, me neither.
I'm sure it's a thing.
Well, we'll see somebody.
If
Maybe
pickle
pen
farms are a
salesman.
thing, pen salesmen are a thing.
Solid point.
Well, I really want to find this pen, but I also want to continue moving. I think setting up shop seems like a static move, and we need to keep. I want to keep moving. You know.
If we see any signs of a pickle farm, we can stop.
These are all good suggestions.
You'd think with all
Um,
these roads, with all these side paths that look all the same, that there would be more signage out here. You
Can
know.
Tidrin just like fly parallel to us, but like way over there, so he can just like see if there's anything, a mile that way or whatever?
I'm just concerned that the paths seem to be forking in both ways, so it's
Oh,
hard to
True.
know which way.
While they debate a precise path, Phelan's going to go ahead and start using his disguise kit to dress himself up like a pen salesman.
Can you explain to me what the hell that looks like?
Sure. So Thalen puts on, he takes he shaves some fibers off of his rope to create false hair, and dyes it red as he can. And he uses some tree sap to glue that to his face. He puts
all
on
the trees out here in the grassland.
That's right. He puts on his green hat. Is that feathered? Is that a feathered cap? I don't think we established that it was.
I don't think we had feathers on them, but we were gonna use them as.
All
I
right.
thought it did have a feather.
It
I
might
thought it had a
have.
red feather.
Or did we all get one feather?
Yeah.
Or we just imagine that because we said it's a Robin Hood hat.
I'm gonna look around for a feather.
Okay.
I think it's pretty important for a pen salesman. And
I guess if there are now
Yeah.
trees around, there's probably some. Sure. You find a
I'm willing to roll whatever.
I guess.
Roll bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah, but I roll what? What is find feather? Where's find feather on me? I guess just roll me.
I guess that'd be survival, really.
Nature.
Yeah, nature is what I would guess.
Nature. Yeah. All right. That's a 9.
Mm-hmm.
You don't find a feather.
Well, looks like I can't be a full-on pen salesman, so I guess I'll have to pretend to be an apprentice.
While he does that, I'm just gonna sit down and try to pray and ask for guidance.
I'm gonna practice my swordsmanship against a tree. Actually, I'm gonna cut a branch down. I'm gonna try to make a training sword, just like a real simple wooden training sword.
Okay.
I have
branch. God damn it, Thalen, just making up trees and shit. Just, everyone's going back to this tree shit.
To be fair, I didn't think about the ecology around us. I was just thinking that perhaps there would be some tree sap as an adhesive in this disguise kit that I purchased from the man who scrumbled around in the wagons for us.
Scrummage.
Scrummage around.
a cross campaign thing where we think there are trees where there are not.
You know, that's cool. Whatever. As long as yes and right. I'll just say yeah. There's trees around. Fuck it. Scrumbled and scrummered and skirmaged and
Careful about scrummering.
I flip one tarot card.
Okay, you flip the tarot card. So Kyle, if you're trying to whittle a fucking wooden sword thing?
Yeah, it's more like long and flat. I'm not gonna finish obviously because it'll take a long time, but I want to like get like a chunk of it going and like the main long piece, like start making the handle at the bottom maybe.
Okay, go ahead. Just I'll make this a combination of a bunch of different things, but since you're not going to get it all the way done this time, we'll start off with just like a general strength check. Indra, roll a religion.
Oh no!
Oh, that's bad.
Well, it was a 19. If you want to do
Oh.
plus dexterity, it's 22.
Cool. You look like an apprentice pen salesman.
And I have a
Looks very
convincing voice as well.
Yeah, I sure. I
Yes,
guess that
and
counts. The kit definitely helps your voice. I'd say that what you put around your shoulders kind of pinches your neck a little bit, so it changes your voice. Yeah, and so it makes it definitely more business-like. Indra, what did you end up rolling?
A natural one.
that's low.
91.
I would say since you're right in view of Thalen like changing and like putting clothes on, you're like a little bit distracted while you are like you're just like he's out in the middle of nowhere, just like taking his clothes off and putting on different stuff and like looking for feathers and shit like that, where you're just like you're a little bit distracted. You are praying, but it feels half-hearted almost in a sense that like you are not, your mind is not totally there. Vargo, what'd you end up rolling?
14.
I'll keep that down. I'll note that. And you now have a cylindrical type of wood figure, not close to a sword or anything yet. After this all happens, takes you all a little while to kind of get this going. Alistair, you get a sense that Tidrin's within 100 feet of you. He's sending you pictures of that thicket of trees, and there was the start of a fire there. Otherwise, he shows you pictures of just different paths and not much else that he saw. He saw some houses and things like that along paths, but no full farms and nothing that's very noteworthy other than just random people's houses or that thicket of
Like
trees.
a brush fire or a building on fire or
It's just trees. So, I mean, it's a fairly large grouping of trees. So there's a couple that are on fire already. He's not there now. He's just sending you like his memories and
Right.
images from what he
He's
saw.
updating me. Okay. We well, Tidrin off this way, and I'll just kind of gesture in the direction that he's talking about. Said there was some trees on fire, but otherwise no signs of kind of what we're looking for.
That's not good.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like a little bit like we should go figure out what that is.
Yeah, I think we should at least check it out.
Okay. Do I have a general idea of how far it was?
Yeah, it's probably still for walking distance. It's probably half hour forward and then maybe an hour off the trail.
Do we want to like double time it? I mean, we're not really worried about stealth right now. You always want to just like.
Sure. What time is it? It's like 11.
Yeah, I'd say it's around 11.
All right. Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Okay. You all book it towards this area. You take the turn that Tidrin's now kind of flying over you all, and just through Alistair giving you all directions in a sense of which turn to make it. And the turn is, as you're going, it's southward, so it's to your right. And you all take a path to the right. And again, this now in about 40 minutes or so, you see in the distance a bigger fire than Alistair you originally saw, but there's like a bunch of trees that are on fire in this big grove of trees that now, as you get closer to it, realize it seems bigger now that you're not seeing it through the air. And as you're getting closer, these trees are very large, but there are some that are burning at the moment. You also see, as you approach it, you do see figures going around the trees, or you see people that are around them, and going in and out of like view from afar. So you're probably about, I'd say, like half a mile. Probably not half a mile, maybe a quarter of a mile, where you can barely just see like their shadows of people kind of around there. You can't really tell what they're doing, but there are humanoids in that direction.
Do we want to slow just a little bit so we can, like, maybe just not come blazing in, depending on what the situation is?
I appreciate the pun, and I agree with your overall statement.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna send Tidrin ahead and just have like, since he'll be out of my range, I'll just say, go check it out, see what you can see. I'll check in if you haven't come back right away. I'll check in visually, but if anything seems hostile or sketchy, you just get out. Just come back.
Okay. He goes ahead.
So when I see him kind of get distance away, I'm gonna share vision with him. So I'll kind of we're walking. I'm gonna go over to Thalen. I'm just gonna put my hand on his head and just let him steer me. I'm just like walk in a straight line. Okay, just follow everybody else. I'll follow you. And then I just kind of go zone out. And again, my eyes change color, and I just keep walking. But you can tell, Thalen, that I'm just kind of following wherever you're going. I'll sometimes like be walking in a straight line and the past guides. I'm like, oh, okay, and then I just follow you.
I'll resist the urge to play a prank.
Does Thalen say that out loud?
If he does, I don't
Yes.
hear it. So
Yes.
Okay, as you kind of go into Tidrin, and Tidrin gets a little bit closer, the humanoid figures are going into the fire. They're bouncing in, and then you see like some coming out, and then you see some in, coming out. And as Tidrin gets closer, how close do you think you want Tidrin to get?
if like the treetops are open enough that he can see down in, I want him to go over the treetops and try to see in what's happening inside. If it's like thick cover, I think I want to just get close enough so that he can kind of peer in from the side and see where the people are going.
Okay,
Just
I'd say
get a
it's
general idea.
fairly thick, so I would say that he probably goes in from the side, and as he kind of gets a little bit closer and he sees one of these figures jumping out of the forest or the group of trees, he gets a glimpse of who and what it is, and he notices that the figures that are jumping in and out, he sees one, and it seems like a tiny thing with red scales and wings of fire, and they're flitting around the area, and you can hear as it coasts in laughing as it's touching different trees, and where it's touching, fire comes out. It just smells of fire and burning and brimstone.
Okay. So I kind of come back to myself as we're walking, and Thalen, I let go of your head. So it's a creature or multiple creatures. It's hard to tell, but some kind of creature of fire. It's flying around and touching everything, and everything is lighting on fire. It's intentional. It's whatever it is. This creature is doing it desirably. I'm not sure what it's doing here. Or seems very out of place.
That sounds scary.
Yeah,
It's just lighting stuff on fire.
yeah. I'm not sure why.
Do we want to check that out, or do we want to run away?
I mean, look at this place. Like this, some of this area is pretty green, but not all of it.
There's so many trees.
Damn it.
This explains why we couldn't find any feathers. All the birds have been burned.
Why do I even create a world if you guys are just gonna fucking create it for me?
First no DM campaign ever. I don't know. My concern is where this leads if we don't do something.
Yeah, I guess my concern is where this leads if we do something.
And my concern is whether or not they can buy pens.
Well, we're
No, I'm kidding.
I appreciate your method
Wait,
acting.
what does your voice
But-
sound like, Thalen?
I appreciate your method acting, Dalen, but
Oh, I haven't given you the voice yet. I was saving it for a
Oh, so
time
you
when it would be
loosened your
opportune.
collar a little bit?
Yeah. It's just I'm ready to tie it back up.
Got it.
Indra, what do you think?
I want to help.
All right, let's do it.
all right.
Okay. As you all approach, you see what Alistair described, and these tiny devils that are catching fire to the things that they touch, laughing, and you see 3 of them that are jumping and bouncing out and around.
Is there like a head honcho devil man, or are they all kind of
No, it just
similar?
seems like there's the 3 of these small, that are bouncing around.
How big is tiny?
I'd say like they look a little bit bigger because they have like these flaming wings, but as far as their actual stature, it's fairly short. It's probably a little bit shorter. Thalen, how tall are you?
I am a big boy of 4'9".
Yeah, it's about Thalen size, maybe a tad shorter, but they're small. As you approach, they see you, and I'd like you all to roll initiative.
Oh shit! I forgot to sneak up on it.
We're still living.
Are you glad we got here instead of a pickle farm? Did you prepare your pickle farm for today?
I did prepare my pickle for. Tell me some initiative here. Let's go with Thalen, because I know that you're probably first because you're level 3.
Well, I got a 20.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Indra?
16.
Okay. I'm going in order on purpose. I know it already, actually. Vargo
12.
and Alistair.
5.
Hey!
Wow!
Yeah.
Look at you.
Called
That was
shit.
good.
Although I forgot I have to roll little shits.
Well, they're gonna get a 2.
We'll start about maybe like they came out of the forest as they saw you because they saw you. Sorry, Thalen. They came out of the forest, which was on, I would say, the north side there. And what would have been, I guess, walking order? We have Thalen here, Vargo, Indra, and Alistair. I don't know if you had a different way that you'd want it.
I just know I was right behind Thalen. Wherever he is, I'm right behind him because he was walking me.
And
Put
maybe
the
like
squishiest boys in the
Indra?
front.
So as you come up, Thalen, you are up first.
All right. So the sort of like environment of where we are. Is there any like tree that I could hide behind? Is there any tall grass? Or is it just like flat plains and they're like, there they are?
Well, you tell me because I know that you know this place better than I do. No,
There's
I
a
would
fallen
say-
log directly in front of me. Wow.
I would say that naturally, like behind them is trees,
Mhm.
and over on this side here, there's more. I'd say the fire pieces, like things that are on fire, are everything from this point here on the eastern side towards the west. So there are trees,
Okay.
and you could get in that direction there, but there's nothing immediately in front of you because as you came from the pathway, there wasn't really any trees or anything of that sort until you got to this point here.
All right, understood. Then I'm going to take a look at the guy that's like slightly in front.
Okay.
And what I would like to do is like examine him real quick and figure out like what would this guy what would his great weakness be? Would it be his flaming wings? Would it be his lack of armor? Would it be his just general self-consciousness? And I would like to use my insightful fighting combat feature as a bonus action. So it's going to be actually a contest. My insight versus its deception.
It's deception.
24.
Well, it can't get that high, so it got a 20.
All right.
But
Then for the next minute, any attack I use against it has sneak attack without advantage.
Ooh.
Okay, got it. Sounds good. So that's on this one right here in the front.
That's right.
Okay, sounds good.
And then we go, hey, everybody, they're really self-conscious about how hot they are. And then I'm going to take just like a step in front of Vargo there.
Okay.
And I'm going to try and shoot it with my with my short bow.
It's about 40 feet away. Are you still good with that?
Short bow has an effective range of 80 feet and
Sweet.
a ineffective range of 320.
Sounds good. You are all set to roll.
All right.
320? That's
Yes.
real good.
It is. Fuck. Well. Fuck. I'm sorry.
This is rough.
19, 20, or 19 total.
Okay, that will hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Alrighty, and here comes the sneak attack. Oh, Jesus. Okay. 12 plus 3 is 15.
Damn.
I go, hey, you better get some cream for that burn on your wings I'm talking about, and in the trees. And that makes him feel bad, and that's why I got a sneak attack.
Gotcha. You see him pull out this short bow, loose the arrow, and it flies true straight into this first fiery devil looking like thing, and it hits like in the chest, and you hear just as this, it's like you're hearing laughing beforehand. You're like, and as it hits, it's and just you can see that its face is turning from this jovial like laughter and happiness to this anger and this like realization that the things in front of them aren't just a regular group of people.
All right, guys, I pissed it off. You got it from here.
And Indra, you're up next.
Okay, I would like to move forward until they are 15 feet away from me. So I want to cast a spell that is a 15-foot cube.
Here, and you are still 5, 10, 15, 20, 25-ish feet from them.
Man, I had like a really good plan that's been foiled. So I'll just cast Sacred Flame. Yeah, Sacred Flame on the front guy.
Okay, go ahead and
I'm pretty
Attack.
sure you have to do a
save.
Dex saving throw.
That is another 20.
Well, that's fine. Great job.
Does that do no damage? Or
Yeah.
half damage?
Nope.
Okay. As you shoot this sacred flame, is it actually a flame? What does it look like?
Mine looks like a lightning bolt.
Okay. As this lightning goes towards it, it is focused hard on you all now and not jumping around and joking around, and just realizes like that you're aiming towards him, and he dodges out of the way from this lightning. And that will be Fiery Devil's turn. And it's going to move up a little bit here and get in sight of the guy who shot it with a bow. And it is going to, out of its hand, shoot a little ball of fire at you. Not a fireball, but a little ball of fire at you. And that'll be a 12 to hit Thalen.
He misses.
Okay, he shoots. It goes right past you. Dexterously move out of the way. And I'm going to actually really quickly say, go make a dex saving throw.
21.
Okay, the fireball goes past Vargo also because it's going straight towards Thalen. Thalen dodges out of the way, doesn't block it or anything like that, and right behind is Vargo, and Vargo quickly and deftly moves out of the way as well. That will be the end of its turn, and that'll be up to Vargo.
All right, can I get in range of that front imp guy, fiery demon?
You can get just right there next to
What
it.
is that edge I'm standing on?
That is nothing.
It's cool. No, it's cool. It's a little dirt line. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. All right, I'm going to slash him really good.
Go right ahead.
Take my sword out and just kind of like as I take it out of my scabbard, just kind of like, actually it's just tucked into my waistband. I'm just gonna go whoosh and just right out and slice him, and it's gonna not be very good. 9.
That you do hit him, but he is wearing. He's not wearing anything, but he is like almost scaly. It's not necessarily like dragon scales, but it is enough to, when you swing it out, it does hit him and make contact, but it just slides right off.
I've heard that dragon scales don't do too much anyway. Right, Tim?
Got him.
It actually is softer than a baby's butt. I heard actually. Anyway, so after Vargo is this one right here. It will run up to the one that tried to attack its friend, and it will reach towards you with its like flaming hand as it reaches in for an attack. That'll be a 6.
No, sir. I like just kind of like lean back and swat like the back of his hand with my sword so that he like misses, like he overextends.
Okay, and that will end its turn. Alistair, that's you.
So, in relation to the battlefield, where are the flames? Like, are we surrounded by flames, or there's like where's?
So no, not really. You haven't even really made it to the flames yet. So if you see right here, this is where the flames start that are part of like the, I'm going to say forest for lack of a better term, just because it's a group of trees. But everything
Copse.
yeah, I feel like last time I used copse 2 times, and I'm like, I need to. So I came up with thicket, and now I've said thicket like 17
Grove.
times. Grove, thank you. I got a grove of trees. And everything on this side is not burnt yet. The flames and the fires is everything to the north and the west of that. You see?
Okay. So I'm going to try and circle to the east a bit, trying to kind of, if we can, keep them contained within the area that's already burning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
But then I'm going to turn to the one that Thalen initially engaged with that's now up on him, or up on Vargo. And so I reach out and like kind of a fog forms around my hand, and I squeeze my fist together, and the fog appears around him, and I'm going to cast Frostbite. I need him to make a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution. That's an 18.
He saves.
As it's a fog, is it a fog of like cold?
Yeah.
Okay, so as it comes in, it's coming towards him and it's burning off faster than it comes in towards him, and the fog almost lights a flame as it like comes off. Next will be this last one here, and it's going to take a step forward, and it's going to be afraid of the one that shot the bow, and it's going to go ahead and shoot another ball of flame at Thalen, and that one will be a 21.
It misses. I'm kidding. I totally got it.
And that'll be 6 points of damage.
Oh.
Fire damage.
Oh no, he's burned off my master disguise. They know we're not selling pens, guys.
And that's back to you, Thalen.
Great.
Great.
So you said the south side, so the south side of the scribbly line is not fire, right?
Correct. Everything on the north and the west is.
Do I have enough movement to get to the tree line? If I make a beeline for it? Beeline for the tree line?
Beeline for the tree line.
You would make it right there if that's where you want to be at.
Yeah, sure. Could I use a bonus action to hide in that tree line?
You may. Go ahead and roll stealth.
Thank you. That'll be a 24.
Sounds good. You are hidden as fuck. Basically what they saw is you just fucking went straight for the trees and are gone. Like you went straight in there like you were gonna go try and save a baby out of a burning house, and
Great.
you're gone to them.
So that last guy that moved, I want to like come out like, I don't know, 6 feet away from where I thought I might be and just try and take a quick pot shot at it.
Okay, sounds good. Go ahead and roll with. Go ahead and take that with advantage, so you would be able to get sneak attack with that.
That'll be a 23.
All right, yep, that'll hit. Go ahead and roll damage
This
with
is my
sneak attack.
first time playing a rogue, and I like it. That's going to be a 8 plus 3, 11.
Okay, same kind of thing. It's not looking at you anymore because it, immediately after you went and turned its gaze on someone else, assuming you went somewhere else, and so you strike it directly in the side, and it sinks deep in there. And again, all three of these little tiny devils, fire devils, for lack of a better term, are pissed and upset at all of you, and not happy, not laughing, not joking anymore, ready to fight. That will end your turn, Indra. You are up.
Okay. Thunderwave.
So go ahead and is it a roll or is it a save?
It's Dex saving throw.
Okay. First one's a natural 20.
Fine.
And the second one is a 13.
Okay, so one fails and one succeeds. So I take my hammer out and I slam it onto the ground, and it's Thunderwave. And I'm going to use Destructive Wrath.
And what does that do?
so The one that takes half damage takes a full half damage, so 8 damage, and the one who failed takes 16 damage.
Okay,
Nice.
you knock out this first one here that took the half damage. It is resisting, but how do you look when it's this wrath? Like, how is it different than if you just normally did Thunderwave?
There's like electricity, like staticky electricity.
Okay, and as that happens, like there's almost like a second aftershock kind of wave that comes out. The original one goes, it seems like it's resisting, and then the second kind of aftershock just like takes it out and knocks this one out. And this one here is looking pretty rough after getting hit by that. After that would be this one here, which now there's a person standing right next to him, and in the way where you really see the halfling. Not halfling, forgot you're not a halfling anymore. The young half elf, he will go ahead and take a swipe at Vargo here. And that is a 17 to hit.
Gets me.
And with its flaming hand, it takes a swipe at you and that is 8 points of damage.
Oh.
And that will end its turn. Vargo, now you are up right after. And both of the ones that are still conscious, they look not good. They look pretty rough.
I'm going to do evasive footwork, and I'm going to like dance to the opposite side of the bottom one, so that I'm on the opposite side of his compadre. I'm going to do evasive footwork, so if that guy has an attack of opportunity, I'm going to dance on him.
It will go ahead and take an attack. And evasive footwork gives you just extra AC, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it takes a swipe at you, and that's a 14.
Miss.
Okay, you definitely all see as he again uses this thing that you've seen, but it's looks reminiscent of Thalen when he dodges out of the way as well. So he moves out of the way very quickly, and I'm guessing takes a swipe at this bad boy.
Yeah, I'm gonna slash at that guy real quick. 19 to hit.
Yep, that'll do it. Go ahead and roll damage.
6 points of damage.
Yeah, how do you finish this guy off?
So I'm gonna like kind of slide to the left when that guy tries to get me, and then I'm gonna swipe back to the right, kind of across its like upper chest with my sword. Just like, whew.
The chest opens up, and this like gout of flame comes out of his chest as it falls to the ground.
Yikes.
Dead. And after that, it will be the last one's turn, and it will, seeing you take its buddy down and being frustrated that it missed you, it's going to come after you one more time here and gets an 18 to hit.
That'll do it.
Ooh, only 4 points of damage. That will be the end of its turn. Alistair, you're up.
Okay. So I imagine that Tidrin's kind of flying over the battlefield at this point.
Yeah.
Where would you say he is on the map?
I'd say he's probably somewhere around here, but
Okay.
Up in the air.
So I will have him dive bomb onto this remaining guy here.
Okay.
And he's going to, as he gets close, my eyes change color again, and you see me kind of like making motions with my hands. And as Tidrin lands on his shoulders, he like discharges this electrical discharge into this guy, and
So tight.
and that's a 17 to hit.
That'll do it.
Okay. And he deals 3 points of lightning damage.
Okay, and that will take him out as well.
So he just kind of like claws into him, and then just
Yeah.
kind of courses through the guy. And as the guy falls, Tidrin just like starts flapping his wings again. And it's just flying there next to Vargo.
And that'll take you out of combat, and all 3 fire imps are taken out.
I will immediately start heading to the fire and seeing what I can do as far as like I've got water in my water skins. Tidrin's going to start looking for nearby sources of water. Just immediately looking to put this out.
How are you trying to put out the fire?
So I've got my water skin, and then I'm
Okay.
just trying to see like where the edges are and seeing where I can go, like how contained it is, what I can do.
Okay, I would say go ahead and make an intelligence check.
Okay.
While he does that, I'd like to use a bonus action to study the weakness of the fire.
Yeah, go ahead and roll what is water check.
Roll fire science.
That's a 12.
Yeah, that you understand that water is strong against fire, and also lack of oxygen.
Okay. Who's got a big blanket?
That's 19.
Okay, you see that again. This is a fairly large trees and large amount of trees, but it's very secluded in the sense that if this were to burn down, it would lose some homes for the animals that live here, but it wouldn't be super negative to the world around it. But the fire is at a point where your water skin isn't going to be enough to do much. Tidrin didn't see any water sources around here as far as like rivers or creeks or anything like that. So as far as actual water that you have, it might not be enough to douse this fire. There might be some things that you might be able to do to, cut it off and not take out the whole forest, but the flames are, it's been probably an hour or so since it started, and so it's fairly roaring.
Okay. How long is the tree line that's burning?
You'd have to go into the tree, like you'd have to go in
Okay.
forest.
While everyone else is doing stuff, that's what I'm going to do.
Andra, what it looks like she does is she just like puts her arm out towards the fire and like closes her eyes and is really concentrating. And it looks like maybe something cool is going to happen, but probably nothing does. She's really just like trying to call on her goddess to make it rain because she feels like that's something that she could do. But she like has no idea how to make that happen. So she's like, come on.
2 things. One, what is your state of mind at the moment?
Kind of like, I guess, desperate a little bit and a bit frustrated for reason with herself mostly.
Okay, go ahead and roll religion with disadvantage.
That's my second natural 1 on a religion check.
Okay, that's what happens. You see her trying to make something happen. Nothing does. Vargo and Thalen, what are you up to?
I guess I'm gonna look for like any source of water around.
Okay. go ahead and make an investigation in the area. And Dalen?
Well, I guess. All right. Yeah. I'm gonna keep a safe distance and make sure I don't get hurt.
So you're coming out of the forest.
You know what I'll do, actually? I want to go inspect the corpses of these weird devil things. I've never seen that before.
Okay, go ahead and make investigation, and I'll come back to you. Vargo, what'd you end up getting?
A dirty 20.
A dirty 20, right on. You see that there is no water in sight. It is an overcast day, and there are clouds. So if you had any magical powers to bring down any, water, then cool. But other than that, you don't see any water.
Don't think I have that. Is that what Action Surge is?
Yeah, Action Surge is cloud-based ability. I hear.
Cloud. Well, I panic.
Got it.
What do we do? What do we do? It's gonna burn. It's like huge already.
I'm having Tidrin just like go along maybe 20 feet away from the blaze and just smash out all the leaves on the trees, trying to create like as little burnable, just try to create a fire line. And then along the ground, I'm just casting frostbite on all the plant life, trying to make it as like a little of flammable material as possible.
Okay.
Every 6 seconds. Just
Yep. 5 foot at a time. 5 foot at a time.
Okay. As you're continuing, you're going fairly deep in there. And again, like I said, relative to the area around it, it's small, but it is like you doing this for a while and you still haven't like reached the other side or reached the end of the fire. You do realize that you're not going in like a straight line. You're actually like coming out, I guess, south. If you think about the way that you came in, you are kind of going towards the direction that you came in the first place. So,
Right.
Yeah.
I turn to Vargo. Do you think a fog cloud would help?
Is it water? I feel like that would help.
Yeah.
You could use it to like damp stuff and help Alistair.
Okay. I cast fog cloud.
Okay. And what's the diameter on that?
20-foot radius.
Okay.
It's big.
So I will walk in to try and get to like at least 20 feet in.
Okay.
So I'm trying to like, if I'm trying to not waste a ton out where there's no fire.
Gotcha.
But, as best as I can without being able to really see.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. You just roll a wisdom check then. No.
No.
It was a 2 this time.
What?
So-
Moderate improvement.
Your fog cloud does make it hard to see for a brief moment around where you're casting it, but it burns off fairly quickly. It doesn't. You can see that it dampens some of the fire, but it comes back quickly after. It doesn't seem to do much. Alistair, as you're continuing to make this, you're looking back and you're seeing, like, even though there's no leaves, there's just branches to be caught. Like, again, it's not the nicest day, so there is a little bit of wind and that kind of a thing where the fires are going above from branch to branch that are connected. The ice is slowing it down from the ground, but up top it is still catching fire.
Okay. Well, I see where the winds are turning, so I'll just kind of head back to the group to try to get everybody out. Guys, it's no use. I mean, I wanted to try to dig a fire line, but I don't think we can. This area, we gotta back off and just let it run its course.
Right.
We tried.
What are those things?
I'm just going back to Thalen. Did you roll?
I did, and I rolled a 12.
Okay, sorry. Remind me what you were trying to look.
I was just trying to see what's the deal with these things. It's like I don't know what this is, and I'm gonna go check it out.
Okay, I would say with a 12, they are hot to, like, you don't touch them, but like as you get near to them, like you can feel the heat radiating from them, and they look like something that's from one of your scary bedtime stories. You can think back to maybe when your parent mom might be telling these stories to you while you are on a holiday that might be inducive to scary stories. And they are telling you about this, and they're telling you about these devil-like creatures that they smell of fire and brimstone and are the incarnation of evil. Like, there's no specific, they didn't have a name for them necessarily, but it just seems scary. Like, they're evil. You can tell that they're evil. What you see, I would say, I guess now that you're near them, go ahead and also make a perception.
Sure. Man, I'm not rolling great on these, but that's a 14.
Okay, with a 14, you notice now like that they are dead, that their wings are gone. Their wings were like basically made of fire. And you also notice where they walk, there are like little trails, little footprints of burned, I guess.
Yeah.
And just like from your background of being very perceptive about trying to like solve cases and things like that, you're very aware, and you're always like, your eyes are always open for footprints and things like that. And so that you do notice that piece of it with a 14.
Anyone who's nearby me, I turn around to them and I say, well, guys, it looks like these guys are pretty hot to trot. You can see from the footsteps here, they've been scalding the ground. It reminds me of all the vacations we took to the spooky haunted mansion in the nearby town. Mom would always try and freak me out with stories like these guys, but I didn't think they were real. Anyway, who knows stuff about devils? Because these things are evil.
Vargo, I think you're probably the closest, and Indra, you know.
Oh, yeah?
This Alistair.
Oh, like closest, like what he's saying.
Yeah, sorry. Alistair's still coming, like just like exiting the trees, so he probably doesn't hear this, but Vargo and Indra.
I don't know anything about anything like that.
You don't know shit about shit.
I don't know dick about shit.
Wow, those are big words from two adult people. I guess this will be a mystery that is to be solved another day. Oh, wait, where do you think this came from? Like, why are these things here? This seems wrong.
Good question. Is there any? I'm gonna quickly look around if we're not too close to the fire and see if there's any like weird, out of place portals to another dimension.
I guess.
Or anything like that.
I'm not gonna make you roll. There's definitely no portals.
Okay.
Thalen, you said that they're hot to trot. Did you like point out these footsteps?
Yeah, that's what I was indicating.
Okay, got it. I was just wondering what the hell that was for a little bit. I realized now. Okay. Vargo, go ahead, I guess, and make a perception check.
Well, probably about as high as my odds of actually finding a portal. 4.
Yeah, you don't find a portal. You are as confused as I was about the hot to trot comment.
Okay. That's like, does that mean something? Am I supposed to know what's going on?
Well, I think we should probably get out of here, guys.
Do the footsteps just go into the forest? Do I see them?
I mean, he
said
pointed
hot
them
to
out.
trot?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
he pointed them out. I was mostly
Yeah.
I took that perception roll more as a roll, but he pointed them out.
Should we follow these at all, or just go?
Well, there's a mystery that needs solving.
If we can do it before this fire spreads to the point, then I'm down. I'm curious as you guys are.
We follow the trot trail.
Trot trail.
So I guess as you follow this trail, it does go into the fire and into the forest, but you do see that they are a ton of them, right? Like there's a bunch because they're like hopping around everywhere, right? And like laughing and joking with each other and like just lighting stuff on fire all over the place. There's a bunch of them, and you finally, after a little bit, you do see that the little footprints go away from it, go eastward out of the forest. And as you kind of realize that your backs are to the burning trees, it goes a ways in that direction.
I wouldn't mind following it.
I mean, I'm intrigued. We gotta.
Let's go. Yeah.
Okay. As you follow it, you're going at a decent pace, I would say, not booking or anything, but it's still like for maybe about 25 minutes you're following it. And as you're going, the footprints are getting lighter and lighter as obviously it happened a while ago that they came in this direction. And so as you get farther, the footprints, I say in quotes, the burn marks are just getting lighter and like kind of dusted over, and like are going over it. As it's getting close to like a point where you can't see them anymore, you see something in the distance.
What is it?
Go ahead and roll perception.
It's a portal.
It's a portal.
I see a pickle farm.
That's a 1.
No, it's
you
not.
see something in the distance. It's very intriguing, apparently.
Well, I keep walking towards it.
I'm gonna send Tidrin ahead to perceive as well.
Okay. As you're all walking towards it, and Tidrin is sending back some pings for it, it looks like there is rubble and there is just a giant area that seems that fire has taken it. There is what looks like from Tidrin's perspective, some sort of housing place, like a house, or I say a house, but it's like a small cottage almost.
Structure.
Yeah, a structure that's pretty much like rubble and caved in, and things that are not on fire but looks like they had been on fire. There's a pile of rocks to the side, and it's just in general a place that was something before.
I don't want to roll anymore.
I mean, you can just go into it.
I mean, it looks like it's been burnt down, right? That's
Yeah.
obvious. Yeah.
I would say that like as you get closer and up to it, it looks. Vargo and Thalen, make a nature check with advantage.
Okay.
15.
I rolled 2 19s, and that'll be a total of 21.
You both perceive a little bit differently. So Vargo, I'll start with you.
Okay.
You can tell that the shape of some of these burns and the way like certain things are burned, you can tell that this at one time was some sort of farming place, like that they were trying to grow things here, but now it's been razed. The fire has taken it. There's no more crops that are living. It's destroyed pretty much. Thalen, you know a little bit more. You can tell that it's a farm, and a couple of things to point out here. So again, as I've said before, the nature of this world, weather changes very quickly based on distance, right? So as you travel farther away from certain places, the weather can change very quickly. And so as you've gotten to the point where you're at now, like this weather and the type of temperatures that you're feeling around here are nothing like the temperatures that you felt at home. And you also know, based off of that different things can grow in different temperatures. You know this from farming and from all of that. And so you actually know two things. First of all, that most farms, unless they're big, giant city farms where there's a bunch of people working it, most of these smaller farms, they only narrow in on one or two types of foods, or that they're growing one or two types of things. Like, for instance, I believe that you had said that you grow like wheat and onions. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
And so what you can actually tell from like kind of digging and you're like putting your hands under the soil, you can actually figure out that your knowledge about foods and things of that sort of farming, that they were growing types of peppers. And you know that it's now unsalvageable. The soil is unable to grow anything here from the heat that was exposed to it. And it's basically the dirt path that you walked on, in a sense, as far as being able to recreate whatever was happening here.
Literal scorched earth.
Yes.
Are there any signs of people? Like any signs of that there were people here, or there are people here? Fled?
No signs of people. Again, I'd say as you look around, there's three kind of main things you see. What I'm assuming the other two would probably tell you is farmland, like things like soil that has been turned for a specific reason, farming. Then you see basically the rubble of a burned down house. And then you see off to the side of the house, like a little bit of a ways, like basically like a broken rock that's kind of smoldering in a sense on the side there.
Do you think the god pen is here?
I don't know. I mean, they could be related. I'm not sure. But this seemed like more like a wild. These seems like wild things, not like things with motivation. It's very strange.
Yeah.
I go towards the big rock.
Okay. You see it is a bunch of rocks, I guess, now like in a pile.
Does it look like a natural pile or this was a made pile?
It looks like it was something.
Can I tell what it was?
Go ahead and make a religion check.
Oh, so no, I can't tell what it was.
18.
This one rolled a 1 earlier. Do I roll it again now?
Yeah, redemption time.
If you get another 1, you're excommunicated.
You have 10 million dice. Why would you ever roll a bad die again?
Oh no, you guys, that was 2 different advice.
I'm
do
here
you
for the
do you
redemption
like the
arc.
die? If you like the die, redeem
It's
it.
pretty. I haven't used it a ton. Okay, here I go.
Redeem
Give it
it.
a chance.
It wasn't a 1. It was a 4.
Okay. You can tell that it was a statue of some sort.
So I'm going to come over and just try to inspect the same thing. I mean, do you tell me that? Do you tell me that it was a statue?
If you come over, I'll tell you. Yeah.
Okay, I'm
I won't
curious. So I'm
shout to
kinda,
anyone.
right. So I come over. When she tells me that, I'm going to kind of turn the pieces over and see how things look.
Go ahead and this for you is more of an investigation check.
I actually have 2 talents that kind of apply to this.
Okay.
So when I inspect the damaged object, I gain knowledge about how it was damaged and how long ago,
Okay.
and I can determine the age and origin of the object itself, even with only a few pieces.
Just automatically.
I mean, I guess I would have to succeed on the check first. So I feel like that seems
Okay.
like appropriate, but this
Sure.
is just like, if I succeed, these are the things that I would get from it.
Cool. Investigate away.
So as he's doing that, Thalen would like to try and see if there's anything that's been preserved in the burnt down like homestead thing. And also, out of character, I'm just realizing I have no idea what class you're playing, Tim. I'm like, wait, he's got a robot dragon, and he can tell how things are damaged, and he's magic. I'm confused.
14? 14.
Thalen, go ahead and investigation as well. What are you looking for?
Well, I rolled a nat 20 first
Awesome.
off.
Yay.
The second thing was I was just looking for see if anything wasn't burnt inside. If there was
I rolled a
anything
natural
there.
20. Let me tell you the things
Yeah.
that I do learn.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, I'll come
I
back to
found a
this.
whole family in there of pickle farmers. They make pickled peppers. I rolled to find Peter.
Boo.
I'll come back to you, Thalen. Alistair, as you're digging through, there's a couple of things. First of all, you can tell that it was broken down fairly recently. You can kind of put together that like whatever was here and burned this place like probably took down the statue too. It was broken down by force and with extreme heat.
Okay. And then I can kind of know what, like a little more about what it is, like,
Yes, so it was a religious statue. I would say that you pick up a piece that you can kind of see as some sort of symbol. You don't know what kind of symbol it is, but there's a piece of the rock that it's all damaged and all burnt to crap and destroyed, but you kind of pull one piece that you would imagine is some sort of sigil of some sort that is religious.
Okay. I'll walk it over to Indra. Does this look familiar to you? You know a little more about religion than I do.
No, it doesn't. Let me roll another one just to show.
I mean, we can look at it more later tonight. I just
No, that was Sachi.
You do roll. I have like in general, you're gonna know a little bit about this just from background in general, but I roll to see how much you remember. I would say.
19.
Okay, that's very different than. Well, shit. Hold on, I have to pull up stuff.
Yay! I did it.
Andrew goes, oh, right, duh.
Wait a second. My brain works again. I've been asleep this whole time.
Okay, what you can pick up. First of all, the symbol is a symbol of a minor goddess, not any of the main like big time goddesses or gods. This is a smaller time one. The goddess's name is, and you're never going to be able to spell it, so just spell it phonetically, is Kepeltep.
Nice.
And you actually know a lot about Kepeltep, even though it's a minor goddess, because Kepeltep was a friend of Ryu's. And what you know about Kepeltep is a couple of things. First of all, Kepeltep has a goofy nature in general. It is a fun, jovial, joking with people, even if bad things happen, always upbeat attitude about things. You know that Kepeltep is a goddess of mischief and a goddess of fire. She looks as a bald, dark-skinned woman dressed in singed dress with red eyes and a headdress that's on fire. You remember all this from your teachings just in general about Ryu and the gods and goddesses that it spent its time with. It's a playful goddess, and the people that follow Kepeltep are usually those that are rejected by society or forgotten or scorned people. There are a lot of people that follow Kepeltep, but there's not a lot of people that go to the church of Kepeltep. It's mostly people that are just trying to live and because they are busy with their life and that kind of a thing. You remember that about Kepeltep.
It's mostly a party religion.
It's
We're mostly too hungover to go to church in the morning, so we just went ahead and started worshiping at night.
I meant more of fucking like homeless people.
Oh yeah, sure.
Oh yeah, sure, them too.
Okay, so natural 20, investigating, just looking for stuff in there.
Stuff that has not been burnt.
Okay, as you're going, most of the stuff in there has been burnt and been torched and been broken. And again, you kind of see something that Alistair will tell you later, similar to what happened to the statue, that it was not only by heat but by force, right? It wasn't just a fire took it out and it just fell. Things are bashed, battered, destroyed. You can kind of tell by just the way that things are laying, right? Like you know that it's not just a natural like fire happened and the building fell because of the fire. Like the place was destroyed.
Like an explosion destroyed?
Not an explosion because most of the outer pieces have fallen inward, but the stuff as you like pull off the outer pieces, the stuff on the inside, everything that you find, even like pieces, are purposely broken.
Got it. Okay.
And you do, with a ridiculous roll, you do find after you're digging for a while, and I would say that, most people are like looking around as other people are trying to figure these things out. This whole time you've been spent just digging and digging and trying to find something. And as you go, you kind of, you basically get a layout of this house. What you pulled out of here, like you pulled pieces, and it's fairly recently, like stuff is still kind of hot, so you're just being careful. And you get the layout of this house, and as you realize that you're in a bedroom, there is almost like a trunk that is still together. You are digging for all this stuff, and you actually dug dirt out, almost like this thing was underground. And you pull out this trunk / chest piece that is locked.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm going to try and pick that lock
Yeah,
right
do
now.
it.
Yeah. All right, thieves' tools. Don't make it like when we saw Mira. Oh, yeah, that's 20. Wait, is it just thieves' tool proficiency, or is it?
I think so. Proficiency plus dexterity.
Okay. By that, it would be 21.
Okay. This is not something that was bashed or battered, but because of all this extra weight and stuff that fell on top of it, the lock is a little bit messed up. But you basically have broken so many locks of your own as you've tried to learn how to pick locks. You've dealt with like fucked up locks before. And so you definitely can go into it and realize like, oh yeah, I can tell that this part here is bent. And so I really need to like get this other tool that I have in here. And then you pick it and boom, it pops open. And what you see on the inside as the chest opens up, you see a symbol on the inside of the chest part, and you see a piece of red chalk. And there's actually one symbol on the top. The symbol on the top looks like a pair of flaming hands clasped in like prayer almost. That's like the top one.
It's like the prayer emoji and the fire emoji.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
no, not everyone can see it unless Thalen calls people over, but this is his original C.
I just like to take the most notes.
So that's what you see at top. And then the 4 symbols that you see below it are a square, a circle, a triangle, and a cross.
Like a T?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. And there's just a piece of red chalk in there?
Yep.
And the symbols are drawn with red chalk?
The symbols are not drawn with red chalk. The symbols are not carved in there, but it's definitely not the chalk that wrote those symbols, but it is basically inlaid in the wood.
Okay.
Is the partial symbol that Tim found also the burning hands in prayer?
Yes.
Okay. I think that Thalen would probably not just start touching this, and he would go ahead and call somebody over. Hey guys, I found a trunk, and it's got the symbols that my PlayStation used to have, buttons.
God damn it. Yes, and there's now PlayStations apparently in this fucking world.
I go over.
Yeah, I come over too.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep the little chunk that I found though.
Yep, Alistair and Indra, you both recognize the symbol that he showed you is the same symbol, the clasped hands burning in prayer. Varga, you see for the first time this symbol and these other symbols, and yeah, I would say, I mean,
So these appears to be shapes, right? Not like a language.
correct. It's very obviously a circle, a triangle, and a cross. Not something that you could tell is written language.
Well.
Looks like some cult stuff, guys. Am I right?
This could be it.
There's nothing else in the box, or just the chalk?
Nope. And I didn't even try and steal anything this time for any reason.
Wow.
I mean, as interest. Wait, when have you stolen stuff in the past?
Oh, when we took the rings from the nice man, Uncle
Yeah.
Jix.
Yeah, we never really
Yeah.
saved that situation very well. We just kind of left, but oh well.
No, we fixed that.
Indra fixed it, I
situation.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you also remember that when you were talking to Fira last time, like they knew because they were following, or she was following, that she made sure that the stuff got back to him.
Yeah.
I still
No
felt like a
harm,
dick
no
about it.
foul.
We broke it.
That's true. We did
stole
break
it.
that
We
chest.
stole it, broke it, and then we're like, sorry.
Okay, this time I'm pretty sure I didn't break the chest. Also, it was buried, and I'm gonna go ahead and say that it's the cause of this accident.
By the way, Thalen has charcoal like everywhere. There's charcoal on his face and his eyes, basically like smeared stuff around his eyes because he's been like wiping his face with his arms. He looks like a dirty, dirty boy.
I take out my new notebook.
Excellent move, deputy.
I will admit, this seems suspicious, but I kind of want to take it.
I'm gonna use it right now.
Oh boy.
You
I'm
gonna grab it?
gonna-
I stand
Yes.
back a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna scoot back too. I'm scared.
Ooh, what are you gonna write?
Hello?
It's what not to do 101, but go ahead. Do it.
Okay. I take the chalk.
Okay.
And I take my
Nothing happens?
notebook.
Okay.
And I write Keppeltep?
You up?
How do you spell it?
You said don't even try.
Okay, you write that. Nothing happens.
I circle it.
Your notebook lights on fire.
No.
Oh.
And out of your notebook comes
Oh.
a campfire. It just out of that circle, you drop it as it starts to light and enfolds a campfire.
What the?
I.
It's your notebook.
Yeah.
Well, if you were that cold, you should have said something. We could have done something else other than burn.
How big is the campfire?
Enough that it would last hours.
So stepping on it is not going to put it out.
I mean, if you step on it enough, yeah.
Okay, I put out the campfire.
Okay. Your notebook is burned to shit.
Yeah, it's gone.
What happens if you do that on the ground?
I go over to like a wall, like a crumbly old wall. So I'm away from everybody
Crumbly old wall.
and I draw a square.
Okay. After you draw, it's just chalk, right? It's
Mhm.
not like you're writing with fire. It's just chalk. But as you finish the square, a brief flicker of flame where you drew that square alights and then goes out, and the square is still there.
Hey, Indra.
Mhm.
I don't want to try and bust this case wide open or anything on accident, but do you think that maybe the word God pen was more metaphorical than literal, and that this maybe is actually the God pen and we're communicating with some sort of, like, fiery god? Just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
Can I pause for a second and say, did I ever actually fucking say God pen?
No, I wrote, you said communicate with a god. And so I wrote down God pen.
Got it.
And
And
Oh,
then
I
you
also
said
wrote down
that.
God pen, yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wrote down like God pen pal or something like that.
By the way, I walk over to Vargo and I cast Cure Wounds, and I heal you for
Oh, thank you.
8 hit points.
That's nice. That's nice.
There's also another person that doesn't look totally healthy, I think.
It's hard to tell. I'm covered in soot.
and it was burning damage. It was fire damage I hit you. So
No one will ever know.
Has this qualified as a short rest or no?
sure, we'll call it a short rest. super worried about it. It was
Sorry, I didn't realize people were hurt. I reserved a spell slot. Who needs to heal? I could do that.
I'm good now.
I guess I'm feeling about a third as chipper as I usually am.
Okay, I heal you.
By the way, just to like keep you posted on what time it is, it's about like 3:30 or so.
Oh, okay, cool.
All right, you heal for 5.
All right. Gee, thanks, lady.
+5 chipper.
I draw a triangle
Where
next to the square.
it does the same thing. When you draw the triangle, it alights and you see the flame that comes up, and it's not like this giant flame that's like the campfire, right? It doesn't like pop out like wood and stuff like that, but the flame almost reminds you of when you lit a fire to cook a soup. It's like a fire that would be off of a stove of some sort of
Like
blue, but low and not extravagant, not something that will do a lot of damage, but mostly it just is hot.
Does it keep going or go out?
Keeps going.
Okay, I pat it.
Okay.
And I draw cross
On what? You're out of space on that wall.
on the. How big is the chest?
The chest is like, I don't know, maybe 1.5 feet long.
Okay, I draw it. I'm scared, you guys.
Me too.
We all are.
Okay, I take.
Really quickly, just make an intelligence check.
That's what I want to do.
That was pretty passive aggressive. I don't know. Man.
Well, you know what? It's a 3.
'Kay.
Time to die. See y'all in the next life. I draw cross.
On what?
I take 5 steps away from my friends, and I draw it on another crumbly wall.
Where are we?
Okay, I would say that it alights, but nothing happens.
The same way as the square, or the same way as the triangle?
Well, I mean, they both did the same thing.
But the square went out right away?
Well, yeah, but here's the thing: is that the triangle went out, but within the triangle came this fire. Is what I'm saying.
Oh.
Sorry. Yeah, the fire lit, and then as it completed its triangle, there was a low fire in that triangle, not the outer edges. This one, the cross lights as you drew it, and then goes out.
I think we have to maybe use it on paper.
Or wood. It might be different levels of fire. I mean, it seems
Yeah.
like
Maybe
sizes.
we should, kind of pump the brakes on the god pen thing.
I don't have any more paper.
It's probably good.
yeah.
What if that's how those imp things got here?
I'm wondering if it's
It's basically a portal.
but how would it have gotten back in the chest if it was the cause? You know.
Do I feel like this is an evil thing?
You feel like this pen?
Chalk.
Like, do I think that this is?
Chalk. Damn
Do
it,
I think
thanks.
that this is Keppeltaps? Like, do I think that this is something that she?
Okay, I mean,
gifted to
I'm not gonna make you roll here because the
'Cause I
chest
keep rolling
the
shite.
chest literally had Keppeltep's symbol.
Okay.
Like the inside the chest there was Keppeltep's. So
It caught on fire when you circled his name, right?
I mean,
I
Is it-
was it
kneel
the
down
fact
and
that
do another circle.
another circle, it pops up with a campfire. The big
so it's the
fiery
shapes that was a key for the spells that this thing can cast with the shapes.
So circle is campfire, triangle is stove.
it's like a little, yeah.
Yeah.
I,
Lame.
I guess that's.
I would say try pentagon, but I feel like that would be dangerous.
pentagram.
Yeah, pentagram.
I was thinking of a pentagon, like a house shape. Would it create a house if we drew a house?
A house of
Uh,
fire. I don't know if I want to live in that house.
Draw a house. That's it.
It does not light up
Okay.
like the other ones did.
I think it's just the symbols that are in the chest.
I think maybe we table this for when we have some supplies in a safe area to test this. I'm going to keep looking, and I just kind of walk around and try to see if there's any sign that these imps were anywhere else, or if this seems to be where the first signs of them are.
Okay, again, at this point,
It's been too long, too hard to
well,
follow.
yeah,
the trail.
that's like when you got to like where you could barely see this farm, the steps were pretty much gone. Like the
Oh, okay.
wind and everything had seen it. So there's not like you can see any more footprint type of things around. So to your best guess.
Is it okay if I hang on to chalk?
Works for me.
We could call
Yep.
it God Pen, guys. It's okay.
I don't want to touch that. That's so scary.
Yeah, I feel like I would blow myself up, probably.
Looks like it's unanimous. You get to have it because none of us want to burn ourselves.
I put it in my pouch.
If any one of the four of us blows themselves up, you're the most likely to survive it. So,
True.
I don't feel like that's true.
well, it's not me. So I'm gonna let you your discovery. You feel like I encourage you.
I don't know anything about that thing.
If Thalen the one that found it, he said it's good. He's good with it.
Mom said don't play with matches, and I feel like this is a super match. So
Super match.
He's not wrong.
I go back to the statue rubble and I leave a few pieces of sea glass and a button.
As you set those things in their place, it begins to rain.
Nice.
I'm gonna go over to the statue and I'm just gonna tell everyone like, hey, seems kind of like a dead end. We got some information, but I don't know what else we're gonna get from this place. We're just a little too late to be able to make much of a difference here. Do we want to get back to the road and head back on our way
Yeah. If the rain's gonna help.
with the fires? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we can do much else.
Okay. I'm gonna go over to the statue as well, and I'm just gonna fold my hands like it's in the picture, and then just try to make a little teal flame, just kind of, and just as like a little gesture before I walk away.
So you guys are heading back towards the.
Back to the main road, yeah. Continue on our way.
Okay. As you all head out from the farm and back towards the way that you came, go ahead and call it there. And I would like everyone to congratulate level 3 Indra.
yay!